All right, guys, back here with Skylar Rydell, who I just kind of am launching questions at, and he's just able to answer them. So thank you so much, Skylar. I appreciate it. Let's talk a little bit around item 6. I think this one is super important for people. Guys, this is where you're going to see the ongoing fees from the franchisor to the franchisee. And sometimes this, you can get a little feed out. You know, I'm a franchisee. I get it. I'm like, okay, lots of franchisees. But the business owner in me, having owned other businesses, understands that these fees are also a cost of doing business, right? So if I'm not paying a bookkeeping fee to you, I'm probably paying a bookkeeping fee to a bookkeeper. So talk just a little bit about what some people may deem as the hidden fees that sometimes get missed, which hopefully they're hidden in plain sight. But let's talk a little bit the norms in item 6, and then possibly even things that you're starting to see there that you didn't see a couple of years ago.
Item 6, it's going to disclose all of your continuing obligations for fees. A lot of them in there, though, I will say are not, you're probably never going to pay. So it's going to be things like maybe there's a non-compliance fee, or maybe there's a convention fee, and some of those aren't collected. Transfer fees, if you're selling it, most of it is only relevant in very special circumstances is at your election, right? It's at your choice. So just to give you some context, I know people see multiple pages.
When? Okay, so
exactly.
If this happens, then this
correct.
Will happen. But if it doesn't happen, you're not going to pay a fee. Okay,
exactly. That's most of them, and we have to put those in there because of the legal framework for franchising in the industry. Yep. We have to disclose that stuff. Now, there are some important ones that you are going to have to be aware of, and that you will pay ongoing. Things like your royalties, your ad fund contribution. Maybe there is other programs and other fees like technology or call centers, digital marketing. I've seen it's a wide variety. There's a wide range of them. And you name it, I've seen it.
It depends on the industry,
the type of structure of the system. Exactly. So there's all sorts in there. And the important thing for franchisees to recognize, and where we counsel them through, is I can't say whether these fees are too high or not. I can give you a general idea, but frankly, you as the franchisee need to understand what the value is for those fees that you're paying and be comfortable with that value. Your call center fee may be $1,000 a month, but if it's saving you 20 hours a week on phone calls, right, or leads, probably a good deal. And that's some insights that I don't usually have.
There, literally, I want to have a little emoji of mic drop. Because I tell people, too, like when I first present brands, all the brands have their royalty fee in there and their national ad fee in there. And I tell people, we don't know yet. Part of the entire conversation and discovery process, once it stops being all shiny and new, is that royalty worth it? Am I getting support in exchange for the royalty? And you don't know that just by looking at the number.
Exactly. So that's what that's our commentary. We outline what those fees are, and I may comment if one I think might be out of the ordinary or not, but it's quite rare.
Okay, got it.
Otherwise, it's just the conversation is based around the value, right? Is making sure you understand that value and that you are okay with the cost of that value. Most of the time, when you put it in that context, the franchisees, our clients, they get it, and maybe they'll have some additional questions. But that's the direction we want to send them. Is the key is the value that you're receiving, and not so much the number, but it's that value you get.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about ad fee, because I think that that's pretty much a standard. You know, we're seeing it more and more. Franchisors are having that. But give us the basic explanation of what a national ad fee is, and also then please, because I know I say it, but what it's not.
Sure. Yeah. So the ad fund contribution or brand fund or brand fee, there's all sorts of ways they call it. It is designed to put together a bundle of funds that the system and the concept, the brand uses to promote itself at a national level and to promote your brand to everybody. So everybody looks and recognizes your brand instantly. That's the key. It's not designed to drive leads. It's not designed to drive customers in the door, not immediately, right? Not directly, but it's to increase the brand recognition so people know your concept versus anyone else. That's what it's designed for. And it's either 8 or 11. I forget exactly. Maybe it's 11. The franchisor is required to disclose the percentages of how they spend their ad fund. And we do look at that, and I comment on it. So we want to see those ad funds expenses. We want to see them on media placement. We want to see them on programs that are benefiting the brand and the concept. Now, again, it's not going to drive direct leads to you as a franchisee, but we want to see some intangible benefit to the concept, to the system. So we look at that. That's what it is, and definitely it's not designed for local marketing. It's not designed to bring you leads or put butts in the seat, as they say, or feet in the door. It's designed just as a high level recognition. And this is why you see a lot of the pizza concepts and fast food. They have so much money that they do, Super Bowl ads, right? And very humorous ones that entertain us every year. That's why and how they can do it. Because they got all this money and they know so many people are watching. They want to give a brand impression and they can do it in just 30 seconds to almost a whole country, right? So think about that. This is kind of in your franchise system. It's kind of your Super Bowl ad fund. All right. Think about it like that, I would say.
Got it. So when the brand is small, taking it that I tell people like it's what the brand is used to fund as it's growing to develop ad materials, search word, digital, the glossy things that everyone's going to want on their own. How I use the materials that are developed at the national level, that's up to me as a local franchisee. But national,
Definitely.
having really smart marketing people, hopefully, saying this is a good ad, this is good language, this is a good search word, blog, whatever it is, and then they're driving that down. So it is going to benefit me at the local level.
Absolutely. So that's a great point that I did miss, that the high level brand marketing and concept marketing, a lot of systems will also generate deliverables, right? So to speak, marketing content that you can use. So there is a trickle down effect. It's not usually guaranteed, right? That's not usually,
Right.
it's not a legal obligation that the
Okay.
franchisor will, but it is best practices. And that's what most good systems will do anyways, is they develop a national campaign, run it, and then they will trickle down that marketing copy or gifts cards or certificates or whatever for use by franchisees.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.